What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Joystick Show, a podcast where three friends from high school in Hawaii get together to chat about video games, comics, and pop culture. Have you ever had one of those weeks where everything seems to go wrong? Well, that was this week for us. Whether it was our first recording or our backup recording, for some reason, on both episodes this week, we had all kinds of audio issues. And unfortunately for this episode, we were unable to save the beginning to our conversation with Ty, but there was too many good things in this episode that we thought you'd appreciate that we wanted to just move forward and post it anyway. So this conversation will start right after our first question with Ty through our Spotlight episode, basically talking about Ty, his show and network, Cult Talk Net. Please enjoy. They just released like a new Evil Dead game. Were you able to check that out?
Yeah, they released Evil Dead, the video game. They have Evil Dead Rise coming out here in April.
Okay.
It's the Evil Dead thing. It's still going. Bruce is in Fortnite now, so
Wow, there you go.
all these kids are now knowing who Bruce Campbell is. It's awesome.
A whole new
he
generation.
Just constantly enters pop culture.
Yeah, exactly. Were you stoked on his, or did you even like his Multiverse of Madness cameo?
I did. That's there's a thing called Bruce Fest in Colorado every year that we're guests on, and we get to share the stage with Bruce and stuff, which is really cool. That's like a dream come true. This podcast did for me.
Wow.
But next year, this is breaking news. Next year, I'm going to be cosplaying as Pizza Papa. That's my that's my cosplay.
Daddy.
While I'm interviewing people. I was like, it's a simple thing. I could throw it on. I can do interviews. So.
That's so sweet, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you got to holler at Drake because he's in Colorado too.
Yeah, I am in Colorado.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice.
I didn't even know about the
Park.
Yeah, it's in Estes Park. I didn't even know about this until you just brought it up. So I'm Googling it right now just to be in it to win it here.
Oh, you got it. It's amazing. Last year November, I got to share the stage with Bruce Campbell and like host a podcast, and it was a dream. I was like never in 2 years of people saying, "Why are you talking about Bruce Campbell so much?"
Yeah.
This is why.
And I got to be on stage with Bruce Campbell. Yeah, exactly.
So
I got to
awesome.
be on stage with Bruce Campbell.
Ted Raimi there too, huh?
Yeah, Ted Raimi, the man,
Crazy.
the prince.
Wow.
All right, that's awesome.
So you're saying I need to start a Taika Waititi podcast and just go all in, and then one day I'll be on stage with him at Comic-Con or something, and he'll hand me Mjolnir or something. I don't know.
He'll pass. Yeah, you'll be right there next to him. That's how it works. We have Cult of Russell that we're working on. It's the Kurt Russell podcast.
Oh.
And my friends are like, maybe we'll meet Kurt Russell. I'm like, he might be he's a little on a different level than Bruce Campbell, but we'll see.
This is how it starts, though.
It's how it starts.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, you had something you wanted to fire at him, right? What was it?
Oh yeah. So listening to your podcast, I noticed that you and your co-host Bailey have like a really great dynamic. I was wondering like how is it that you guys met?
So Bailey is the fiance of Ben. He's one of our co-hosts of Cult of Campbell, and he also hosts Cult of Lore, which is our like Warhammer lore-based podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
But we all met on the set of a movie. We was all working on an independent film together, where I was a co-writer. I was like a script supervisor.
Very cool.
And she was a set designer. And everyone, we started Cult of Campbell. She wasn't really involved in it. And then everyone started shooting off in different projects, and Bailey didn't have anything she was doing. And Cult of Campbell was, kind of just a thing that I was working on. We both had a affinity for conspiracies, so we didn't really like each other at first.
Was that right?
There was like this weird contention between us where like we're both big-headed people, but like we started on Cult of Campbell. I started bringing her in for that, and we just like, hey, like let's do this conspiracy podcast,
Yeah.
So we've been doing that for started working on it last summer. We released it in the fall, and we're coming up on our 6 months now we've been doing it. I think we have 15, 20 episodes out now. So
Yeah.
that's
It's
awesome.
good, man.
every Monday evening I spend with her recording. So
Very nice. I love it, man. You guys got a good dynamic. Like the comedy's there. Man, I was
I
like,
love that.
I learned so much from it too. Like you guys do your research with it. I was impressed.
We try. Bailey cries really easily, so she'll cry just for the fact you said that we have good dynamics. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
What's the easiest / weirdest / like thing that she's cried over before?
Oh, but anyway, you compliment her in the smallest way, and she's gonna cry. I can say, "Hey, this podcast got 2 downloads in the first hour," and she'll, "I'm crying."
Man, all right. So I'm pretty much the Bailey of our group then. So that makes sense. Yeah. Every group needs them. Drake, there's something else you wanted to ask him?
Well, there was. I noticed that you have like your Cult Talks Net. On the YouTubes, you have your Cult Talks conspiracy. You have your Cult Talks like weird situations. Like, how do you handle all of these things, all of these different topics, especially being able to like put out, I mean, this very highly researched content. Like, how much do you have in terms of like different podcasts, and B, how do you keep it all together in that sense?
So we have Michael. He is, I call him my brother because we've been friends ever since elementary school. You know, I've known him since first grade. Well, he is a audio engineer. He's got a master's degree in business and all this. So he is kind of the figurehead. Yeah,
cheating over here with your audio engineer friends.
/ business degree.
Yeah. So he actually keeps us roped in pretty well. Like we have a plethora of Excel spreadsheets that we have to update after every episode.
Sounds amazing.
These they're crazy. They're wild to me that we have these things. Little progress bar. Every time I do anything, I enter it. This progress bar will show me where we're at. So we always know if something gets missed, we know whose fault it is.
Accountability.
Mike does that.
Accountability. Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, Mike is a barbarian when it comes to that, but he keeps us on track. I hate him so much, but he's like my brother, so we get along. But we have Michael keeps us on schedule. We all have kind of our different things we do. We all have our shows we host, but then I handle all the graphic stuff. The thumbnails, cover arts, assets, everything. I do all logos.
Right on.
Eric, he's my co-host on Cult Campbell. He does all the video production stuff. So if you guys check out Cult of Lore, Cult of Lore does these really great full-length videos with animation and stuff, and he does all that. And it's from just he had no background in that.
Wow.
He learned it all just for this stuff.
Damn. Wow. That's amazing.
So Bailey, she handles getting everything RX. Just everyone does pulls their own weight. So there's 6 of us total.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we all pull our own weight. We have 3 shows that are running simultaneously. We just kind of just accountability. Really, that's the main thing. We all have to be accountable. So Mike is very big on if one of us messes up, he'll let us know. So we have to keep our
you're gonna hear about it.
Heads on.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
no, that's awesome.
No, it's just a lot of work, but we really enjoy it. We all have full-time jobs. We do a lot of backlog stuff. That's one of our secrets. Is we never stop recording. Yeah. I'm recording stuff right now that's not gonna come out till October. So
smart.
It's wild.
We know about that, or learning about that, I should say. Yeah, definitely.
It's such a good feeling when you look and you see I have all this stuff.
Yeah, right.
And it's all ready to go.
I know. Couldn't every job be you just start stacking up jobs, and then you're just I'll just use that for later, and then that's work. That'd be great. I got a question though. Based on all of this though, when do you or how do you figure out the conspiracies that you're going to be talking about on Cult Talk Conspiracy?
Well, me and Bailey have two different ways we go about it, which is pretty cool because Bailey does a lot of reading. She likes listening to audiobooks and stuff like that, and she buys books and reads through them, and that's her way of doing it. I usually go to the conspiracy theory icebergs. I'll find those, and those are fun to look at. So I'll go through those, and I'll find I'll basically look at them. If it's something I don't know, if I read something what the hell is that? Mm-hmm. I'll research and find out what it is, and I'll do an episode on that. I do a lot of blogs and Reddit
deep dives,
investigating stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's how I like doing it. Yeah,
no doubt.
That's kind of scary. Those ones you get in them Reddit threads, it gets a little dicey.
yeah, that's
there.
Yeah,
it's a little dicey.
Well, that's why listening to your episode, we were okay, what how do you distinguish like this is just complete and utter bullshit, or this is like something that's like
Right.
noteworthy and I want to bring this up? Like that's what.
There is like a narrative base to it, because there's some stuff that we'll leave out, because like you're not necessarily like trying to skew it, but you're trying to keep it straightforward, because there's a lot
Right.
of stuff that will take you off on a tangent to something totally different. And if you're focusing on like Project Bluebeam or something, you want it to be about Project Bluebeam, and you have to kind of leave out some stuff. It might stray off into something else.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out a way we can integrate that stuff, like maybe like bonus content or something at some point.
Patreon.
Yeah, there we go. Just some bonus stuff. We have an idea for a spin-off show that just covers all that weird stuff.
Like, you must have a solid focus, because like I feel like I have ADD. I would be in 1,000 different directions. I would be like start in aliens and end up in, I don't know, black holes, or why the government like doesn't sell toilet paper during certain times. I don't know.
Why are eggs so expensive right now?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That was actually one I like kind of kicked around, but like I was like, I don't want to get into like doing topical stuff, because then you're kind of tied to doing that. Like then like when the next thing comes up, people are gonna be like, well, why aren't you covering this?
While we all look down
I
in shame.
Well, they're harder to bank though, right?
Like,
if they're topical. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing too. Like, because I've been like tracking stuff for like the rate we're recording things. I was telling Bailey, I was like, we're gonna be done recording for the year at this point. She's like, well, then we can take a break. I'm like, no, then we start on next year.
Yeah. There you go.
The spreadsheet's not going to let us stop, yeah.
Yeah, it never stops. But like, I handwrite everything. Like, I have these like notebooks I buy. Like I buy these things by like the dozen, and I just handwrite everything. I cross things out, post-it notes. Like, it gets kind of like a Beautiful Mind type thing going on with
there you go,
post-its and string. But
just a savant.
Yeah.
Janitorial work.
So yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to ask this next question, but because it kind of touched on what you were just talking about. Yeah, Drake or Scott, do you guys want to fire away on that, or I could just do it?
I'll
just do it. Basically, it's like, is there certain movies or shows that you feel like gave you inspiration to want to do this?
I don't know, not podcasting necessarily, but conspiracy stuff, yeah. Like, I've kind of like kicked around the idea of maybe doing like a conspiracy movie night thing or something, like maybe once a month, because like we touch on things like I don't know, like we'll touch on things that I know there's movies based around that stuff, like Men in Black. I think would be a cool one to do, just like to look at like the goofy like Will Smith, Tommy Lee Jones Men in Black, and just under the guise of trying to like decipher where the conspiracy is in it. But the movie thing really, because I'm a child of the '90s, and like I remember like all the Alien and monster movies and all that, like X-Files and Unsolved Mysteries. Like that's really the inspiration for me to do this.
Yeah,
is I binge watch X-Files on like a yearly basis. Like, I remember through COVID, I like just sat at home. I worked from home, had my laptop working, and then I'm just watching X-Files all day. Like that was how I got through COVID.
Man, it's funny. I can't even like specifically remember any episodes. I probably need to dive back into it. But it was like this massive cult following. I remember when I was a kid, everybody was watching X-Files. It was like that, ER, what else? Maybe for me, it was like Full House, that kind of stuff. But I remember my parents and my cousin, like X-Files every night.
Yeah. Man, I remember that intro used to scare me
episode
when I was young.
That
yeah.
That
they had the frog with the eye, I think, like on the back, and I was like, "What? I'm not watching this."
That one episode with the hillbilly mutated family that stuck with me for life.
That's a wild one. I showed that to my partner recently, because like I was trying to tell him like there's like some really horrific stuff in this, and I showed him that one. And it's wild. That
was nuts.
That's a nuts one. Yeah. That one, and like there's the Fluke Man in like the second season. I think that monster is like in everything. Like people always post that thing as like it's a weird, disgusting looking thing that they had on TV in the '90s.
Yeah.
Man, that show is creepy.
Check it out.
Anyway.
Yep. I know.
But yeah, if you look at like even like the artwork we do for Cult Talk Conspiracy, it's very much like X-Files. Inspired. Like it's I didn't want to say it, but like I'm Mulder and Bailey Scully. Like that's how I I
That's
perceive
cool.
it to be. So,
Dude, yeah, I think that's a fair comparison, because
yeah.
you guys have different dynamics, but it still works
Mhm.
together, and you're still trying to like solve, or I guess just at least tell us the
Yeah.
conspiracy, or like teach us about it.
That was kind of the main point of I didn't want to like feed into conspiracies. That gets kind of like dicey, like
Right.
especially some of the stuff we cover. Like I had to take a break after we did one. I was like, I am doing like light stuff for the next like 5 episodes. I was like, I did 2 episodes in a row where I had to like deep dive into white supremacist stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some fun cutting.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find some lighter subjects. I'm tired
Yeah.
of talking about these guys.
I know.
So
Like
we were
dog
reviewing
competitions.
House of the Dragon and something else and we had to go like back to back on these like meaty episodes. And after I'd walk away, I'm like, why isn't there anything happy on TV right now? Because like I'm so depressed. Like this
it's always
sucks.
it's always everything's gotta be dark and grounded. I don't want that in my entertainment.
Right, exactly. That's why. We try to fluff everything up. So yeah, exactly.
That's
get
why
that.
I watch Bruce Campbell movies. There's nothing too serious.
Yeah, no doubt.
What is your favorite Bruce Campbell movie, I guess, of all time? And then like the most underrated Bruce Campbell movie?
I would say it's probably both the same thing. It's
Oh,
Bubba
nice.
Hotep. Bubba Hotep. That is my all-time favorite Bruce Campbell movie, and one I love endlessly showing to people because it's if you've never seen it, if I was to give you like a one line of it, it's it's Elvis and JFK in an old folks home fighting a mummy.
I'm in.
And it's very hard to sell that. You tell someone and they're like, I'm good.
Right.
And then you watch it and it's this like really deep emotional movie about like what it means to get old and what leaving your legacy and how our life leads up to our what we leave behind when we die, and it's a beautiful movie. It's like a masterpiece. It's like a magnum opus, and Bruce is so good in it. Ozzie Davis, I don't know if you know who he is. He's like an amazing African American actor. He passed away not too long ago. But he plays JFK.
Oh, okay.
Wow. And it is amazing. It's such a good movie, and I love that movie endlessly. And I love when I finally get people to watch it every time. It's like, that was an amazing movie.
Nice. Dude, okay, yeah.
But it's a hard sell.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
you sold me on it.
I think it's on Tubi.
Okay.
You guys don't know what Tubi is?
No,
Tubi,
yeah.
I do know
that.
Tubi,
Yep.
Yeah, all praises be to Tubi. That's what I always
Bubba
say.
Hotep.
That is the greatest streaming service.
That's almost like what I say about Keanu Reeves. So yeah, it's pretty close. I get that.
You can't go wrong with Keanu Reeves.
No.
I'm sure there's a bunch of Keanu Reeves stuff on Tubi too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
probably.
There's got to be some crazy conspiracies about him because that guy, by all accounts, seems like an angel walking on the earth, right? Like there has to be some crazy shit about him.
Yeah, like why
There's
doesn't
gotta
he
be. There's
age?
gotta be.
Right?
Yeah,
That's a
that's
big
definitely
one.
for Paul Rudd for sure. That guy is a vampire. There's no doubt. He is like,
Yeah, he's sucking the soul out of somebody.
yeah,
There's-
definitely.
There's some like poor interns that are
Yeah, they're trapped in a
being drained of their
basement.
life force.
And he's just doing seances, drying. Yeah, when you look at like a side by side picture of Paul Rudd when he was on Friends and now as Ant-Man, he's like the same. Like just with a few extra lines, but it's like I almost feel like he had to surgically put it in there so he appears older.
Yeah,
Not that
exactly.
he
He's
actually
just a
is
clone,
older.
man. He's just a clone.
Oh, maybe
They're all just clones.
he's like a Rick and Morty
Yeah.
of himself,
Yeah.
doing something like that.
Just endlessly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Paul Rudd will be around long after we're gone. So
Yeah,
looking the same.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll move to a foreign
Exactly.
country and like become like a local star there
Yeah.
for a while until it dies down and come back.
Then work his way
Yeah,
back
Yeah.
up.
exactly.
Just an endless loop.
Yeah, he's got a plan. He's done it before. Knows what he's doing.
Yeah. He's done it for
Yeah.
years, for centuries,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So, what have you been watching lately? Like, what's been like on the queue?
Lately?
Yeah.
The Last of Us. That's
Oh,
been
yeah.
my thing right now.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
a good show. That last episode was killer. I was blown away by that.
Me
The
too.
story they were telling that was nuts.
Absolutely.
That is on the queue for sure. I love that show. I was a little apprehensive because I got out of Walking Dead like in like the 4th or 5th season
Right.
because I got tired of that
Like most people.
Yeah.
I got tired of that gray like it's the apocalypse stuff, and I was like, man, Last of Us is gonna be the same exact thing. And I started watching. I was like, this is way better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's not 25 main characters. to
Yeah,
follow.
I got out of
That's
that when
the
like
best part
Negan
about it.
came around. and then it was getting real dark.
Yeah.
He killed
Yeah.
everyone. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
so depressing. Like,
It was not even fun.
Yeah.
I watched the last episode just for
closure.
just for the hell of
Right.
it. I watched the last
Yeah.
episode and it was like unrecognizable. I was like, what is this? Like there was like stormtroopers looking guys walking around and they were controlling zombies. I was like, I don't know what is I don't even know what this is
Wow.
anymore. I couldn't even get into it a little bit.
Yeah. I think like you, I fell off in the third or fourth season too, and it's really interesting. Like, how are they going to differentiate it? But The Last of Us shows, man, you can never doubt HBO.
No.
They come out with something like they got firepower
Bangers.
there. Yep, exactly. Yeah, there's actually, I mean, talk about conspiracy theories, but I kind of love that way that The Last of Us has introduced the whole cordyceps virus or whatever you want to call it, fungi spreading into everything, where global warming is the reason for all this spreading.
Yeah.
Eh,
That was really cool in that first, and they explained that in the first episode.
right.
I love all the like flashback stuff they do in that. Like all the pre-outbreak stuff they do is like really cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
it sets the vibe for the
way they set it
episode.
up. Yeah, it's really cool the way they do that. I love like those scenes in particular. I was texting one of my friends. I was like, man, those are like the best. Like the second episode when they had like the doctor examine the dead body.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was so great. And
cool.
this stuff you don't get from the game. So it's like getting bonus content almost if you're like a diehard player of the game. So yeah, I really love it as well.
Yeah.
Have you guys checked out that 90s show yet?
Oh yeah.
80, yeah, 90s.
90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh, we
90s
don't
show.
talk about
Yeah,
the
I
80s
was-
show, but we did watch the 90s show.
no.
Yeah.
that was. What did you guys think of that? Did you guys like it?
Yeah, I mean, on our end, I think I actually liked it. Like, there was a lot
Yeah.
that they did that was great about kind of moving the old cast and passing the baton to the new cast that I really liked. I thought they did that well. Like, a lot of shows, well, I mean, one that comes up like right to mind right now is How I Met Your Father.
Yep.
And I
Okay.
I loved How I Met Your Mother, and How I Met Your Father I could not get into because it just seemed like it was two different worlds. That there was very little like connecting tissue, and that's what I thought the '90s show did good. What did you think about it?
Man, I almost tapped out on the first episode. I think is so cringy. The rest of that show is awesome. Like the first episode where they're like really rapidly like
Yeah,
these are your characters. Like I was
Yeah.
like, man, I was like, this ain't gonna be good.
right.
And then I finally I didn't stop and I watched the rest of it and I was like, I binge watched it all one day.
Mhm.
I was like, that was all. The way they ended it was great. I'm excited to see a second season. I'm hoping Netflix doesn't do the Netflix thing and cancel
Yeah,
it.
y'all like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Well, it's gone now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
I was reading like the way they do it is like it doesn't matter how many viewers, it's how many new viewers it brings.
oh, huh.
So like if like 1 million people watch it, that's fine. But if those 1 million people already have Netflix, it's kind of like it doesn't really matter. So if it's like 1 million people watch it, and then 500,000 new subscribers watch it, that's what they're caring about.
Right, because as the CEO said, we never canceled a successful show, but they don't release any of the numbers. So
we don't
No.
know.
how do we know? Yeah.
Don't they have a
That-
marketing team for that? That's on them, man.
Dude, there's got to be some information out there. Like, somebody has to have the info for, man, look at me. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat now. I'm like, dude, you could do an episode on this. And actually, I want to be a part of it. No, but it's like somebody out there has to have the info on the actual numbers that Netflix gets to see, because they never
It'd be
release it to the
interesting
top.
to see that.
That would be. And then try to like, juxtapose that to the shows that they did cancel. Because, yeah, I don't know. Curious. I'm
Yeah, it's pretty
curious about
crazy.
that.
Like I've heard like really, top level comedians talk about their specials on Netflix, and all they hear back, only some of them are like, "It's doing good, don't worry." And that's like, you think like
Wow.
if you're like the top dude, they tell you maybe, I don't know, they'll tell
they give you
anybody.
something.
Like,
Yeah.
You just get a plaque and a Ferrari at your house, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's how you know you killed it. Yeah.
you did Ferrari good. So that's good.
You get to
Yeah.
share your subscription with other people is how you know.
Yeah, we won't cancel.
They give you more than one account.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Those guys.
Uh,
I was gonna ask, since The Last of Us is a adaptation from video game to screen that's actually worked. How did you like Evil Dead moving into a video game? Did you feel like that was something that was doable? Not necessarily doable, like
Yeah,
did you find it fun or like what you would want from it?
The way they did it in this new one was really cool with the like I don't know what you call those types of games. They're like a
It's like
name
an
for 'em.
action
It's like the-
adventure.
Yeah.
Something like that.
This
It's
one's
like
like
the
one of
Telltale
those.
games?
It's kind of like Dead by Daylight. It's like a Dead by Daylight
Right,
game.
right.
Okay.
You
Oh,
pick your
yes,
own,
yes,
like,
yes.
you can go
It's-
this way or that way sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like you're like in a server with. I don't play a lot of games. I'll be honest. I'm not a big.
And
gamer.
that's all
all
I
good.
play
good.
Sea
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Thieves. I play Sea of Thieves. That's it. I've got
Hell yeah.
I've got the Quarry that I haven't even unwrapped
Oh,
yet.
yeah,
so
you do.
it has Ted.
I've watched a
Raimi in it, so
playthrough
I
of
got that.
It was good.
It looks. I played it with Ted at Bruce.
Oh,
Fest, and
nice.
it was cool. Yeah, and it was fun, but I got it and I haven't even unwrapped it yet. So I got that. No, the Evil Dead game though, it looked really cool. I watched people play that when we was at Bruce Fest. I've played like back in the day. There's a couple Evil Dead games that came out in early 2000
Mm.
for PS2 that were like pseudo sequels.
Okay.
They continued on. Those were really fun. I remember having a blast with those. There's one where like Ted Raimi's in it, but he's like a little like dwarf that's dead. And he like kind of like haunts you, like he's like your guide to the game. It's kind of like the alien from the Flintstones.
Oh, right.
Where it just follows Fred around, but it was kind of like that, but it was a little demon dwarf and Bruce.
I don't know why that makes me crack up so much.
I like that. I love seeing like Bruce come up and stuff. Like he was in Dead by Daylight, and people went nuts over that. And then him show up in Fortnite, I think is just so funny because it's a kids game.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's all
Do
these.
they even know who he is? You didn't earn
Yeah,
it.
I have no idea who he is. And here's Bruce Campbell. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like seeing him pop and stuff.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, he has like this certain persona that I don't know. It's just very unique, and you always know, like you're like, oh, dude, it's like exciting when he pops up in different things. You're like, oh man,
Oh,
hell yeah,
yeah.
he's in here. That's pretty cool. I got a question for you though. Is there any conspiracies? Like we're kind of moving away from just general pop culture, but is there any conspiracies that you kind of wish were just like unequivocally true? That you were like, man, if there was a way that just make this true, like I wish that was a thing.
Man, I would have to say one of my favorite ones. I haven't covered it yet because I'm like, it's gonna take me a lot of time to. I want it to be a nice meaty episode when I do it.
Okay.
When I finally decide to pull the trigger on. Is there's a really cool conspiracy that all like the national parks in the United States were actually like they were established because they're like Bigfoot territory.
Oh,
Like, that's where
okay.
Bigfoot
Interesting.
is.
Roosevelt.
So
They keep it
Nice.
protected.
Teddy Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt famously has several stories of encountering Bigfoot. So
Wow.
the idea is that he, coordinate these areas as like these are these things, like these where they stay because they're dangerous, is kind of thing. Is like these animals. And there's even like some Bigfoot conspiracies that are like they're interdimensional beings and
There you go. I just learned
there's
about the
even,
11
like-
dimensions from your show. So, which
Yeah.
dimension was it in? Was it somewhere from the 4th to
I'm
the
not
11th?
sure,
or-
'cause there's a bunch like the Bigfoot itself. There's like so many different like theories. Like, is it just this like missing link, or is it? There's some people that will see Bigfoot and at the same time see UFOs.
Okay.
So there's kind of like these ideas that maybe Bigfoot are like maybe like harvesters for aliens, or there's some kind of like pet or some sort of like muscle for aliens, I guess.
Right.
There's even like some people that think they're Nephilim. I don't know if you know what Nephilim are. They're falling angels.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Children.
wild. There's all kinds of stuff, but like the idea is that all these national parks were coordinated as like these are where these things stay. So all the people that go missing in these national parks are never investigated because it's like they got taken by the big feet. So we're not going to mess with that.
Wow.
But I love that one. I think it's so cool.
Dang.
That's an interesting one if you're on a deep dive into that.
Yeah,
That'd
definitely.
be creepy though.
That-
Walk into Yellowstone and just never come back
Yeah.
to Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever heard of Missing 411?
Mm.
David Politis, he covers those. People go missing in national parks and they're never really quite thoroughly investigated.
Right.
And the idea is that it's the government doesn't want to be investigated.
Yeah.
They want to find out that Big Feet
It's
took him and killed him. So
Creepy stuff,
Right,
too,
right.
man.
yeah,
yeah. He'll like either kidnap you or kill you or force you to eat beef jerky. And
yeah, one of the
Yeah.
Jack Links.
Exactly. Yeah, just endlessly
Right.
makes you eat jack links.
Till you die. Death by snoo snoo.
That's right.
Yeah.
But dude,
high cholesterol.
no doubt. I was wondering though, like you were kind of talking about like the alien and that theory. Dude, were you able to watch Nope?
Yes.
What'd you think about that? Where spoiler alert for
love
anybody
Nope.
out there, like
I
the spaceship is the
I
alien.
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like the design at the end of it. I thought it was a little like I guess if you're it was definitely like an alien looking design. I mean, it wasn't like a traditional look. So I mean, that made sense. It was like
Right.
this definitely isn't something you would see on Earth. But I was like, man, it just looked like a bunch of sheets. Like,
Yeah.
it looked like
Like a big jellyfish.
someone's it looked like someone's like blankets got blown off the
The
hanger and they're
hanger
just, like,
got
floating
stuck together.
around.
Yeah.
But I love that movie. I recently showed that to Mike, one of the people here in the pod. I showed that 'cause I love it. Like something about that movie has such a really like good feel to it.
Mhm.
It really reminds me of like the old movies I used to watch from like the 80s and stuff, like Jaws. Obviously it's a 70s movie, but
Mhm.
I watched it in the 90s or whatever. But
Likewise.
just that really nice, like grandiose, like Hollywood movie. It just had a really good feel to it. I can't really describe it, but it was like everything in it just felt so big.
Mhm.
But it was just isolated to this little farm. They just did a really good job with that movie. It just I like it a lot. It's like a comfort movie for me now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That was Scott's top movie of last year. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're
That
on
would
board.
probably be my top of last year as well,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh,
You
I
guys
like the
are
fact
crazy.
too, just like
Everything, everywhere, all at once. No doubt. You guys
spaceship
are crazy.
was the alien.
I haven't
dude.
seen that yet.
nope.
Yeah, I was hoping somebody would say it. Thanks, Drake. But sorry, Scott, what you were saying?
Oh no, I just said the spaceship was the alien. That was like the crazy thing for me. Like when you see them
Oh,
sucking them
yeah.
up and you just hear them like screaming,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh, he's like the thing's eating them. Like that is the
Yeah.
creature. I was like, wow, that's cool.
It was really fun on a set because I went and seen it in theaters. I went and seen it at this really cool draft house here in Columbus, and it was really fun. And I watched it for the second time just like recently, just a couple weeks ago. Because I have Paramount Plus, so I was like, I'm gonna go and watch this or whatever.
Right.
And I put it on, and watching it a second time was so much better just because like I picked up on all the stuff I didn't really pick up in the first one, like the way the characters interact or the way things are said or stuff like that. Like even like at the beginning when he takes the horses back to Stephen Yeun's character.
I
Can't
forget
remember his
his
name,
name.
but when he takes him back there and he's like, I want to work a line to buy these horses, and he just kind of like, and then he like feeds into like his sister who's like enamored over all this stuff.
Mhm.
He like feeds into it because he doesn't have those horses. They're all he fed them all to a spaceship.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, look at all this stuff. So it like made sense. Like he doesn't want to continue this conversation because all those horses have been abducted. So
Yeah.
he can't buy
Yeah,
them
I'm
back.
gonna have to
Dang.
rewatch it.
I know.
Yeah, it was really fun to rewatch it.
That's awesome. Yeah, like Jordan Peele just has this way of adding so many like little details into things, and it seems like every movie you watch, it all makes sense at the end, but then when you go back and watch it, it has a completely different meaning than the first time you watched it. So that's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'll watch anything that Jordan Peele creates because it's like always so damn good, so good.
He almost lost me on the Twilight Zone.
Oh,
reboot
I
he did.
didn't
You know,
watch
I
that,
didn't check that
though.
out. So
I was not
yeah.
a fan of those. They were
Ooh.
pretty disappointing.
Okay.
He kept like alluding to these like because I've watched Twilight Zone back in
Right.
the days. He used to be on like Sci-Fi during the day, old Sci-Fi channel.
Yep.
And like he would allude to like, oh, we're gonna redo this classic story. He'd like name it similar. You'd watch it and it would be like just a total letdown. I was like, don't do that.
Ah,
You
man.
misled me and then didn't even satisfy me at the end of it. It was just like, but I was a big fan of those. But Nope is by far my favorite project he's done so far. I'm really excited to see what he does next. He's even hinted at like a sequel, which I think would be interesting.
That'd be
Right.
great, like
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean,
something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Well-
I think he's going to use the characters. I think's what he was talking about, like the characters from Nope, their stories that end with that. So it'd be
Ooh, like
interesting
an
to see like
yeah.
what happened with
Anthology-ish
them.
kind of thing.
Maybe
That'd be cool.
they
Cool.
become professional monster hunters and they just travel the world hunting sky monsters.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that leads into a grander question too. Like, what like directors are you leaning towards, and how do they inspire you to kind of do the things that you do as well?
Man, I'm most like Sam Raimi, obviously.
Yeah.
Evil Dead, I
Check.
love Sam Raimi. One of my favorite directors is have you guys ever seen The Stuff? You guys ever seen that?
Stuff. I don't think so. What
I'll look it up right now.
is it?
1985 film.
Yep, 1985. Pull this up for you here.
You're giving me like all kinds of material that I need to go and watch after this.
Yeah, so Larry Cohen directed that, and Larry Cohen is like, to be honest, he's a trash filmmaker. I mean, he tells a story, but like he doesn't most. It's not so much he's trash; he's just very unorthodox.
Okay.
And I love it. Like, The Stuff is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's not on the same level as Bubba Hotep, where I show people it and every time they love it. Most time I show people The Stuff, and they're like, what the hell did you just make me watch? But
Yeah.
The Stuff is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Larry Cohen, he's just a master at B movies. He's done It's Alive. He did Q, The Winged Serpent. Just these really bad movies that I for whatever reason I just cannot look away when they're on.
Yeah.
But he's aware of it. Like he leans into it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice.
Maniac Cop. I don't know if you guys have seen Maniac Cop, the trilogy.
The trilogy? No, I haven't seen it.
No, skip the first one. Third one. Skip the first movie.
Okay.
Jump to the second and the third one.
That's funny.
The second and third one, shockingly, are like but the same runtime as the first movie combined. So, the 2 and 3, I love those. They're on Tubi. They're free.
Man, this is like a Tubi plug over here.
wow.
Do you work for them or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting the discount.
Yeah. You're working for that sponsorship, huh?
I don't want to like gloat, but I have a free Tubi subscription. So.
Oh hell yeah!
Ooh, heyo.
That's awesome.
But Larry Cohen, he is just one of my all-time favorites. He's just something about him. He makes these really unorthodox movies. I don't have any other way to put it. They're very unorthodox, and in the best way. You watch him, and it's like, what is he doing this stuff for? Like the way that he moves the camera, certain decisions on storytelling. But at the end of the movie, it's just, I'm always satisfied
awesome.
at the end of it. It's just.
Are there any
That's great.
old
You guys
movies or like this, like The Stuff? I'm looking at the trailer now, and it seems really interesting. Are there any like old movies like this you'd love to see, like maybe like a A-list director take a shot at or something, and just like
Not The Stuff. The Stuff is
yeah,
perfect.
The Stuff looks
So
great for
no
what
one
it is. I'm
touched-
looking at the trailer.
No one touched The
Yeah.
Stuff. It's been done once. No need to
No
redo it.
reboots on The Stuff.
Man, anything I'd like to see redone. Man, I'm really apprehensive about reboots and remakes. I will say, and some movies I love, and I see remakes of them, and I just sour taste every time.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, it'd be really hard to say. Like I know Beetlejuice, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yes.
People always kick around the idea of a sequel to that. But I don't even know if I'd want to see a sequel at this point.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know what they would change.
Oh, that's
That's what I
confirmed.
keep hearing. Yeah, keep hearing. My favorite thing about Beetlejuice 2 is every couple years, my uneducated friends on Facebook will share like a fake poster,
Yeah.
excited that it's coming
Yeah.
out, and I just chuckle to myself of,
You're like, it's
you
never
know,
coming.
sure.
Yeah.
Next summer, Johnny Depp and Beetlejuice 2, and I just okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
But, man, I don't know anything. I know something. This is kind of along the same thing. Not a remake or reboot, but the movie I really love. It's something that no one really knows about. Not a lot of people know of here. Let me grab. I'm in like my little studio where I have like my Bruce stuff.
There you
my
go.
posters, my movies.
dang.
and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I
And,
can see it.
have you guys ever seen Man Thing?
Yeah.
You guys ever seen that?
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
movie, Man Thing?
From- Oh, sorry. Go for it.
It's
Jordan.
a good flick. It's a really good movie, and no one knows about
Well,
it. Like,
yeah. When did that movie come out?
2005 is on Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay, right. And I remember because Werewolf by Night just came out on Disney
Yeah.
Plus, and a lot of people were like, "This isn't the first time we've seen a Man Thing on like a big screen or whatever." And I was blown away that they had made a movie, and it was pretty good from what I had heard as well.
Lionsgate made it.
Yeah, it's a great one. You pick it up on Amazon pretty cheap. I bought this like when it came out. I've had this since like 2005.
Nice.
Wow.
And
Nice.
man, it's a good. Oh, it's on Tubi.
I'm getting.
Nailed
Wow,
All
shocked.
praises be to Tubi.
Roll
I will never-
credits.
like,
Here we go.
If,
Yeah.
if you can think of it, it's probably on Tubi, and it's going to save you a subscription. So.
Nice.
100%. You just got to put a Tubi ad in front of every one of your episodes,
Yeah.
and
I know,
eventually
I know.
you'll get
Let's-
sponsored. Like,
I've
So
said
down.
that many times. I'm like, what are they going to give me?
Yeah.
What do I get from that?
You're gonna come home to like a gift box one
Yeah,
day. There's gonna be
maybe-
Yeah,
shirts
gift
and
box of
hats and a
Tubi,
water
yeah.
bottle. Yeah, a bookmarker, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I can get in contact with them. Shoot them a DM.
There you go.
Slide in the DM, see if I can get a sponsorship.
So we kind of skew sometimes into like sci-fi or fantasy, and you kind of talked a lot about horror. Is there any like superhero or like straight sci-fi stuff that you really dig? Because I'm just curious about it.
I love the Captain America trilogy, like they did in the MCU. I love those 3 movies.
Right on, man.
That was like the perfect little trilogy tucked into that series. I love that so much. I was so sad to see Steve go and end the game.
Likewise.
I was like, man. I was like, that to me like was where my MCU journey ended at Endgame. Like,
Oh yeah.
I found it very hard to get into anything else because I was just so into like Steve and Tony, and once they were gone, I was just like, I didn't really care enough to follow. I wanted to see Wakanda Forever. I have yet watched it because
dude,
I was like so sad.
We just posted it. It just came out on Disney Plus. So if you have Disney Plus,
I do.
Yeah, well there you go. It's like Tubi, man. You can watch it for free.
Yeah. As long as you pay for it, you can watch it for free.
I can watch it for free.
Exactly.
If you pay for it, you can watch it. Yeah. I like that.
Definitely.
That's how they should market it from now on.
Yeah. But
free to our paid subscribers.
100%. Well, man.
But I love that. I love that. Sci-fi wise, man, I watch so much that I kind of get lost in a lot of things. Like Interstellar, that's one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
That Murph.
Yeah.
Murph. There was a guy I used to work with named Murph, and I used to annoy him endlessly because I would, if I was having a bad day or I wanted to annoy someone, I would just yell.
That's
Murph
like the Dark Knight and Rachel. Rachel.
Yeah.
Anyone named Rachel just got it.
Yeah. That's all I could think about too. That's amazing, man. Yeah, and you gotta definitely check out Werewolf by Night. I'm sure.
Yeah, I did. I checked that out. That was really good.
Yeah,
that was great. I was really excited. I love. I have a soft spot for like holiday specials.
Oh yeah.
When a show does a holiday special or someone does a holiday special, I don't know, something about Halloween specials and Christmas specials. I have just the biggest warmest spot for. So. With Cult Talk Net, I always have us do Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day specials.
Nice.
Just something about those. I have no idea why. Something from childhood, maybe from the 90s when we'd have like Roseanne or Full House or whatever would do.
Oh,
those, Home Improvement, stuff like that. When they would do those specials, just set something in me where I love anytime anything does a special. So
dude,
I had to watch Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. We just did, we did our Christmas and we did our New Year's episodes, and those were like fantastic. We come in, we do games. It's like you just feel like you're in the spirit. It like changes up the whole dynamic of the show. I feel like.
Yeah, I loved it. Now we put out a podcast every Christmas day. We do we do like a watch. We'll watch like a Christmas movie. Like I think the first year we did Krampus.
Nice. Oh, nice.
This last year we did the Christmas Chronicles because
we're doing
the Russell thing. So yeah.
Oh, okay, right on.
And we do like a whole week of that stuff leading up. Like Bruce Campbell has Hallmark Christmas movies now, so I'm watching those because that's another guilty pleasure of mine is Hallmark Christmas movies.
Nice.
Was not expecting you to say that. Is it on Tubi?
I love efficient A to B storytelling, and there's nothing you can't go wrong with it. You put on a Hallmark Christmas movie,
know what you get
while you're doing the laundry or cooking or whatever, and there's gonna be a conflict that comes up. And within 2 minutes, it's resolved. I love it.
Low stakes, feel good.
Some socks, some Pinot
no
Grigio.
Stakes. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what do you guys have coming up? I mean, I know like our next holiday, I guess, is like Valentine's Day. Are you guys planning something for a Valentine's Day episode?
No, we're kind of taking February is kind of like we're taking a hiatus on Cult of Campbell, so we're doing just Cult Talk Conspiracy, and Cult of Lore. And we don't have anything special planned for those. Last year we did a movie called Lunatics, a love story, which we did it for Cult of Campbell, and that has Ted Raimi in it. And man, I'm telling you, you guys gonna be convinced this is a bit. But so we could not find it last year. We had to watch the whole thing in Spanish. None of us speak Spanish.
Okay.
So we had to translate it and review it. We did that for a Valentine's Day special last year. I wanted to do it again this year because one of our followers reached out to me like about a week ago and was like, "Hey, you know that movie you couldn't find? It's on Tubi." I went and found it. It's in English on Tubi. Wow. So, but I was like, we didn't line up with our schedule. We have so much stuff this month because we're we're getting geared up for this thing called Bruce-O-Rama. Bruce Campbell is doing a touring show all over the U.S.
Wow.
And we're helping promote that. So
Dang.
we're dedicating our time to that. But yeah, that's what we have going in February. So we're taking a little break from Call to Campbell, but then we're gearing up for May, which is our 2-year anniversary for Call to Campbell. So we got a lot of big stuff planned for that.
That's super awesome,
April
man.
6th, Cincinnati. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool.
Maybe Tubi can hook you up with like a show on Tubi. You talk about the movies on
There we
Tubi.
go.
You know, like
You can do.
I've seen some of the stuff that gets on Tubi. It can't be hard to get on there.
Yeah.
What?
You can do the official Tubi podcast for Tubi.
Yeah, that'd
I
be
think,
awesome.
for sure.
There we go. Yeah,
That's
Tubi
the direction.
Tuesdays or something.
I'm pitching that for
I'll
you.
do.
So
Yeah.
man, it's been great having you on. We don't want to take up too much of your time. Do you guys have any last questions for him before we wrap this up?
No, I think we got the most we can out of you, Ty. Loved our
Awesome.
conversation.
Great. I really enjoyed this. This was fun. So
Yeah,
thank you guys for having me on this. This was
Thanks
great.
for being
Yeah,
here.
thanks for coming on.
right on, man.
Uh,
Yeah, it's been super great having you as well. I mean, like, where can people find you? How do they support you? Like, yeah, where do they go?
so we don't have any we're not doing Patreon yet. We're getting there. We're kicking the tires on that. The whole fun business side of that stuff. But if you want to find us on social media, go to @CultTalkNet. It's super easy. I set everything up and just made it that everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure there's other things I have forgot that we signed up for, but all the things. If you go to
Yeah.
@CultTalkNet, you'll find us, I'm sure, on those platforms.
Right on. And we will definitely add that in the show notes as well so everybody can find you. Yeah, thanks so much for being here, man. Like, seriously, I really am digging Cult Talk Conspiracy. I don't know why I can't
Well,
say
thank
it, but
you
I am
guys.
enjoying it. You guys are great. And yeah, obviously a lot of love and work goes into them. So yeah, we just appreciate having you here.
Yeah, so that comes out every other Tuesday. So if anyone's interested in that, every other Tuesday, Cult Talk Conspiracy.
Okay.
Call to Campbell comes out on Mondays pretty regularly. And Call to Lore, which if you like Warhammer, I don't know what Warhammer is, but I make a lot of the graphics for it. So I learn Warhammer when they say, make me a thumbnail for this thing. And okay.
Yeah, there you go.
But Warhammer, that is on every first and third Thursday of the month.
Right on.
Okay.
And you can find a full video of that on youtube.com/culttalknet.
Sounds good. All right, man.
Nice.
Well, before you go, we like to ask all our guests to say this. You can say it however you want, or you cannot say it, but we would like you to just say aloha to everybody, or just say bye to everybody, and say thank you for sticking it with us.
All right. Aloha, everyone, and thank you for sticking it with us.
All right,
Nice.
there it is.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay,
That works.
that's
Don't
awesome.
forget
All
to
right,
check out
guys.
Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out.
You need like a
Tubi.
Tubi
Cult
hidden
Talk-
gem thing.
Oh,
Yeah. Man, this has been great, guys.
if you've enjoyed what you've been listening to, we'd really appreciate a follow, subscribe, and a review. Just how we like chatting with our friends, please share this with yours. Feel free to join the squad and follow us at JoyStickShow, Joystick Show on Twitter and Instagram, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And if you feel like submitting topics or questions to be discussed on future episodes, you can email us at joystick.show@gmail.com. As always, thank you, peace out, and make it a great rest of your week.